Let me tell you that Oklahoma, I watched the end of the game. Oklahoma softball. Think about this. They are 61-1 this season. They finished. That is a record. They won 53 straight games. 61-1. The expectations, third straight chip, third straight natty, third straight national championship, whatever you want to call it. And I'm watching the end of the game, which was awesome to watch. Patty Gasso, the head coach of Oklahoma, 29 years ago, she's at the Women's College World Series, and she's coaching at a Long Beach Junior College. And she says, you know what, I want to coach D1. I want to coach the women that are playing here. She takes a job at Oklahoma first year, $42,000, which was less than what she was making at Long Beach. And look at the powerhouse he's built. Record for wins, most national championships by a coach in women's softball. Mike Candria has 8 with Arizona. Sharon Backus has 7 at UCLA. Sue Enquist has 6. They combined for 3 together. And Patty Gasso, 7 national championships, all since 2000. All since 2000. And Jordy Ball was the most outstanding player of the Women's College World Series. She went 4-0 in 24 and 2/3 innings, 0 runs allowed, which was a record never happened before. No runs allowed. 33 Ks. They won the 2 games against Florida State, the 3 seed, 8-1. They were down 1-0 in the game today. I mean, they had a tough game against Stanford. They came back and won that one. 53 in a row. And she talked about how all the pressure on the team this year, about how all they had to deal with everything, and that they came through. That's a thing. A lot of pressure. When you don't lose, you know that eventually there's a point where you lose and your season's done. Look, Pats couldn't do it. Pats couldn't finish 19-0. Couldn't do it. The Mariners, won 116? Didn't even make it to the ALCS that year. To actually come through and then to a three-peat. I mean, winning championships hard enough. Doubling down, three-peat, doesn't happen all the time. I mean, this is a program that is just goddamn amazing. 61-1. And that they came through and they got it done. And I got a great picture up of them at the end, the catcher going, hugging Jordy Ball. And I was like, goddamn, I got to do a show. I got a good picture. It's a little blurry, but you know what? It's the context of the thing. I'm watching that. Now I got on hockey, and the Vegas is up 2-1 going into the third period. They've won 17 in a row when they are up after 2 periods in the postseason, which, I mean, they've only been 6 years in the postseason. They're 10-0 when leading after 2 periods in these playoffs. And they put all these stats up, and it's like, are you trying to jinx the team? Are you trying to make it tough for this team? I mean, the Panthers think we believe. I don't know about that. And Marchessault, 13th goal. How about 13 goals in 13 games? And Lon has joined the conversation. 13 goals in 13 games, 23 points, 13 goals, 10 assists, 23 points. He set a Vegas franchise record for most points in a Stanley Cup playoffs. He's a third player in the last 35 years to score in the first 3 games of the finals, joining Steve Yzerman and Jake Gunsel, which is, I mean, he scored in every game of this. And I saw this other stat where he's the 14th player in expansion era to score a goal in each of the first 3 games. Dick Duff did it in 68-69, so he's the 14th player, but the third do in the last 35 years. I mean, that's... And right now, hey, they're playing... We got 13 minutes left to go up 2-1. 3-0 in this series. Wow. Yeah, and I mean, we'll see what happens going forward. I mean, and there was another thing I saw that popped up. They have all these crazy stats that pop up. Yeah, first team since 1980 Islanders with 2 power play goals in 3 consecutive games in 1 Stanley Cup Final Series. And you know that they won 4 in a row, the Islanders, 80, 81, 82, and 83. And they went back in 84 and lost to the Oilers. So they went to 5 straight Stanley Cups. That's a dynasty. Like the Oklahoma women's softball team. Give them props where props is due. Now, Jason, I gave Jason his own cards today. Sanchez yesterday hit his 4th goddamn home run, a 3-run homer. Padres beat the Mariners 10-3. In 9 games, he has 4 home runs, 9 RBIs, 286 batting average. Juan Soto had his first ever 5-for-5 game. They're 29 and 33. They still aren't playing great ball. Seattle fell to 30 and 31. And listen to this, after their 4-1 loss on Tuesday, they've had loss, win, 9 games, 4 and 5. Loss, win. In the 4 losses, they scored 1 run in each loss. After they scored 5+ runs. Thank you, AJ Cassavell, for that. I mean, that's what they came. Then they scored 10 runs. So basically, the same pattern. Loss, win, loss, 5 and a 5-5 record. Isn't that crazy? Loss, win, loss. And in the losses, they scored. In the losses, they scored 1 run. 4 losses scored 1 run, which is unbelievable. And he said he should bet against them every other day, and then against them, just basically do the opposite, because the games where they think they'll end the streak, they lose, and the games they were losing, they scored 4 runs, which is crazy. Yeah, I said like the opposite, like George. Soto 5 for 5, most games reaching base safely 4+ times before turning 25 since 1901. Ted Williams had 81 games where he reached base safely 4+ times before turning 25. Juan Soto was tied with Mickey Mantle with 69 and Jimmy Fox at 68. Mickey Mantle, 69 games reaching base 4+ times in a game. 69 times before turning the age of 25. Sarah Langs is the greatest, one of the greatest of all time in stats. So I love that. And Jason said he will probably go for Friday when they're at the Rockies. And Kevin Adji said the last 9 days, which included the win yesterday, they're 5-4. Winning days, they've scored 4. In the 5 winning games, they've scored a total of 40 runs. In the 4 losses, 4 runs. I mean, that's crazy, right? That's crazy. I mean, talk about feast or famine every goddamn game. I was like, dude, that is craziness. So I said, Jason, I have cards for you today. Of course, he didn't hear me, but, we try. It's a journey.